So I recently spent $500 buying and having these YSS shocks professionally installed and set up. And I would describe the effect on my riding as Now I haven't run the numbers, but I've definitely spent north of $1,000 US upgrading and modifying my bike to make it more capable. But again, I think all those pale in comparison with the just over $220 spent investing on this. Hey, good morning guys. We are in Batangas and look at where we are today. This is Motorclyde Training Center. Got our training track here and they're building here. When we walk in, this is kind of the restaurant and waiting area. We've got the bikes here too. So I'm here today to do the intermediate training. Build some skills, and I'm here at the call time 7:30 where I have my included breakfast and coffee. So I'm super looking forward to today. My low speed confidence is really not that great, and I think today's training I'm looking forward to will transform my riding. Will make it so much more enjoyable. Will open up a lot more ride XP. So the day began with a short introduction to Motorclyde and a short lecture, and honestly the story of Motorclyde is pretty inspiring, which you will learn when you go to the center. And then we got on the bike and began our practical training. My coach for today is their head of training, Coach Tani, also one of the founders and owners of Motorclyde, and that's one thing they take pride in, is that the owners themselves teach the classes, ensuring a high level of expertise and service. So the training begins with just getting used to using your hips to move and control the bike. And one really interesting thing here in Motorclyde is that you are training not on a light bike, but on a big 230 kilo Harley. This basically forces you to inculcate good habits.
Every time you stop, counterweight mo lang para hindi mo wala yung leg mo dyan. Okay? Ready? Okay.
This first go around is for me to get used to controlling the bike with only the clutch and a little bit of rear brake to control my momentum, and starting to turn it only using my hip movement and peg weight.
Sa turn, hanggat hindi ka komportable, two-hand ka sa turn. Pag nakuha mo na yung tamang momentum rating ng katawan, then that's the time you get it.
So this one-hand exercise where you're just using your left hand on the clutch and your body position to move the bike and keep it stable, it's a really good drill because it's difficult. It will teach you to unlearn your bad habits of like clutching too tightly to the handlebar, because this heavy Harley is unforgiving. If you are fighting these handlebars, they will pull heavily on you and tire you out quickly. And I thought, man, oh no, it's just the start of the day and I'm already tiring myself out from this bike. But it's also really great in that way because it really forces you to get those good habits down to make riding more effortless.
Yep. Kung napansin mo, hindi masyadong movement ang manibela mo pag nagta-turn ka ng kanan. Pero pag left, doon nagkakaroon ng unstable, nagkakaroon ng sudden movement. Okay, ngayon turn ka, pupunta doon. Balik doon. Dito sa dulo, dito na sa dulo. Diretso dulo. And then turn ulit. And then balik ka ulit doon sa kaliwa.
So a funny thing we found out, and you'll actually notice in the maneuvering video on my Interceptor at the start of this video, is that unlike most riders, I'm actually better at turning right than turning left. I don't know why that is.
Yung mental hurdle ko, even before, lagi ako nasasabihan na I look at the ground. Yung fear wala pa yung ano. So, starting to deprogram lang yung dati.
Kasi nga, ang aim natin, ang goal naman talaga natin dito is for you na pagdating mo sa labas, hindi pwedeng short range ang tingin lagi. Doon ka lagi titingin sa susunod na cone, hindi dun sa unang cone. So may tinatawag na target fixation. Pag napa-target fixation ka, yun yung nag-daydreaming. Pero the more na mas nagiging attentive ka pag tinitingnan mo na, okay, may lubak dun sa kasunod na kanto. May tatawid sa kabilang kanto. So, awareness naman yun.
The next drill was a simple slalom, but I was having to use my hips and counterweighting, which for some reason I struggled with. As you'll see here, I'm still mostly using the handlebars, although I am trying to use my hips.
Counter. Counter. Counter net. Yan. Counter. Yan. Pero. Closer. Close right away. Close right away. Close right away. Your hips.
Here I took a break from the heavy Harley with my buddy EJ's modified MT-07. EJ is actually so nice to come by and also help coach me. He's actually the first national skills champion of Motorclyde. He won the competition last March. EJ is actually a big fan of the training at Motorclyde, so it should tell you a lot that somebody as skilled as EJ still comes back here frequently to push himself. And also, thanks EJ for coming over for the moral support and extra knowledge. Always appreciated. Of course, there's no good big bike training without the classic drill of having to keep a bike balanced and walk around the whole thing with just one hand. I would give this attempt a C+. It was really scary. This Harley is so heavy, but this drill also really teaches you about how weightless a bike becomes when you just keep it balanced.
Hindi mo alam sa
Sige, let's see.
Sige, naka-side stand naman siya eh.
True.
Iyo.
Nanginginig ang kamay.
Man, I had it. I was just afraid.
Malambot kasi yan.
Oo nga.
Dapat doon ka sa matigas.
Dapat sa something na ano. Wait lang.
Sige, go.
There.
Go.
Oh, mabigat siya.
Hihilap na hihilap.
Yun nga eh. Ayan. Ang laki ng mental component nito. Do not be afraid.
Use the force.
Use the force, Harry.
Harry. Yo!
Use the force, Harry.
Yun ang last.
You can do it.
Then I had to try the slalom with one hand on the heavy Harley, which was definitely the hardest part of my day. So these drills emphasizing maneuvering with the body along with clutch and rear brake pretty much took up the entire morning. Then it was time to break for lunch. Here I am with EJ at lunchtime. And then we did some more drills that weren't maneuvering specific. A lot of them were preparing for different situations on the road, stopping and going properly. And then, much to my surprise, I really suddenly gained some confidence maneuvering the bike, such that coach already asked me to try and follow EJ on the S-turn course as quickly as possible. And this was super fun, literally following in his footsteps. And the culmination of all of this is a relatively tight figure 8 course, which, much to my surprise, I was able to complete, I guess, well ahead of the schedule of the end of training. And yeah, by the end of it, which you're watching here, I was able to comfortably do it repeatedly. And maybe, you know, I would hit a cone 1 out of every 5 tries, but at least in the video you can see I was doing it. And honestly, while I was doing it, I was in disbelief. I didn't think I would be able to do something like this after just a few hours of training on a bike this heavy. And then when I finally went to a lighter bike, this G310 GS, it was just a walk in the park. And that feeling of controlling bigger bikes this way is indescribable after, I guess, 2 years of riding and envying my more skilled friends for their bike control. Like, wow, what a gift. What I can tell you is that when I went back to my Interceptor and my Vespa armed with the skills and knowledge from this practice, it was never the same. Everything having to do with riding motorcycles is suddenly so much more fun. And I also have such a strong foundation to build more advanced and fun skills. Thank you, Coach Tani and the whole Motorclyde team. Sana talaga ay magpatuloy yung ginagawa ninyo. And yeah, more power. I know you'll grow a lot more and make for a lot of more skilled and safer riders. So, highly recommended, Motorclyde Training Center. Alright? Peace! And there you have it. Obviously, I don't consider myself to be an expert yet. Actually, if you look at these outtakes, you know, I still need so much practice. I kept putting my foot down and trying to execute these tight circles. There's still some fear, but at least now I have a really strong foundation to go in whatever direction of riding I want to go and to become a much better and much safer rider. And I guess the whole point of making this video is that really, we spend so much time obsessing over bike upgrades or bike modifications, and even more, perhaps more of us, especially with money, we spend time obsessing over, oh, you know, like my bike isn't capable of this, my bike isn't capable of that, when in fact, if we upgrade ourselves as riders, then our bikes, no matter what they are, even if this was a Harley, become capable of so much more. And honestly, I bet it is really more fun to do more on a bike that can do less than to do little because you don't have much skills and confidence on a bike that can, on paper, do it all. So, you know, I don't judge, you know, whether you ride like a 125cc China underbone or you ride a 1250 GSA, you know, get the bike you want. But I think you are missing out on so much and you are honestly wasting a lot of time that you could be having more fun if you don't invest in building your skills. And here in the Philippines, right now in 2023, I don't think there is a better high-level, more intermediate advanced skills training facility than Motorclyde Batangas, or Motorclyde in general, because they're actually going to open in the north. So highly recommend, like, whatever training center, whatever training you can get and can afford, get it now and let that transform your riding, and don't just throw money at new parts or new, better bikes. So yeah, thank you for watching. I really hope this was helpful. I'll see you guys next time.